I really don't know how to start this. I don't know how. I don't. Alright guys, and welcome to my first series recommendation. So first up, we have one that I mostly just really need to talk about and get off my chest. We have Bunny Drop. Bunny Drop. So, for those of you who don't know, Bunny Drop, let's just start with the quick overview and we'll kind of go from there. Bunny Drop is a series about I don't want to say middle-aged, but because he didn't like start off that way, but like sort of in his 30s. I think he's like 30, 31 is where he starts out. His name is Daichi, and he's just kind of a guy. He's single. He just works. Just your typical guy, kind of living by himself, doing his thing. He goes out and drinks. He's not the healthiest dude in the world. Anyway, it's just kind of how it starts out. Lays the foundation. That's the character. Starts out series. His grandfather or great-grandfather, I think his grandfather dies or passes away. And so, basically, it starts off with the funeral and the whole family's there. Well, he shows up and come to find out, supposedly, his grandfather actually sired an illegitimate child with a young woman. Now, this young woman is nowhere to be found. No one knows who she is or whatever, but there's a little girl that he was taking care of, and her name is Rin. And so, the series, basically, that's kind of the overview, and then basically how the series starts off is that no one wants this girl, no one wants to deal with this girl, they find it just a big problem, they're trying to figure out how to get rid of her, send her to a home, something. So Daichi really doesn't like the way they're talking about this girl, and he forms this connection with her. And so, Rin, you've got to understand, she's very quiet, but she is very mature for her age, extremely mature. And so she leaps and bounds above other kids. She asks very adult, not necessarily adult questions, but sort of like, what does that mean? How does this work? And all these kinds of things. So that's kind of Rin's character. And so he gets her, I believe, when Rin is 5 or 6 years old. I believe that's the timeline. As you can see here, I mean, this is kind of like Rin. This is volume 2. This here is sort of like Rin when she starts out. I should have done that to the camera because now I might not be in focus. I hope I'm in focus for you guys. If not, it'd be a really annoying video to watch. And so, that's how it starts out, little girl. And so, and basically that's the groundwork. That's the groundwork, that's kind of it, that's how it goes. You basically have a 30-year-old single guy who's never raised a kid ever, and this like really intelligent young girl. And the first 4 volumes are adorable. They're so sweet. All the adventures that happen, all the things you expect from like someone who's never been a parent, who's never really... Daichi is a very awkward man. He's not very good to people necessarily, or especially women anyway. And so basically the first 4 volumes of the series go like that. The adventures of Rin and Daichi. You end up meeting some other characters on the way, like trouble with his job, daycare, how does he take care of her, all the things he needs to buy for her. So it's all that kind of subject matter. And so you have some other characters, some other really important characters that show up in the first 4 volume, or Koki, who is a young boy, and Koki's mom. I don't even know if we ever find out Koki's mom's name. I don't think we do, but she's a single mom who is divorced. And Rin and Koki kind of form a bond as kids, and they have that same thing in common. They both have one parent. So Koki and Koki's mom, long-standing characters through the whole series. So basically, yeah, that's kind of the overview. That's kind of the first 4 volumes. Great, but this is where the but really comes in here. The rest of the series, and so. I'm not, just so you guys don't have to worry about anything, if I'm going to spoil anything, I will tell you, and I will put an annotation in the video to skip ahead. Most of the time I'm not going to spoil, but especially for this one, I'm probably going to have to spoil a little something because it needs to be talked about. Some people, if they want to buy the series, they're going to want to know this bit of information, but we'll get there. So, next there's a time skip in the series. Time skip to when Rin is older. It's book 5. I don't know where I put book 5. Book 5's here. So she's older. Basically like high school. So this is a time skip. the characters change a little bit. Koki is not the same character he was. He's a bit more grown up. And so you have the problems that might come with not having a father figure in your life. And so Daichi is kind of a father figure a little bit to Koki. There's like relationships like suggested here and there. So the first four volumes are sweet, carefree, not a care in the world, they're cute. I'm going to classify this next section of the volumes, volumes 5 through volumes 8. I think I'm a little off focus. I'm going to like back up a little bit because I think that's where I am in focus. And so, volumes 5 through volumes 8. A bit more drama. If you don't, you really could stop reading at volume 4 if you wanted to. It's not, I mean, if you want to, you could stop there. So that's like, there's an anime for, it's like Usagi drop, or this in English is called bunny drop, so whichever we know it as. So I've watched the anime is really sweet, it ends at volume 4. That's where the anime ends. So volume 5, anyway, keep going. She grows up, you kind of get that relationship, the drama, the high school, it becomes a little bit more teenage drama instead of sweet kid story. So you gotta keep that in mind if that's not your thing. And so just keep in mind there's a time jump, the characters get older, and the subject matter changes a little bit. I still enjoyed it. I did not enjoy it as much as the first 4 volumes. I mean, that's what a lot of people seem to say, and I would agree. I got to like volume like 6, and I had all the volumes. I got to volume 6 and like didn't read it for a few weeks because I was like, I'll get to it. First 4 volumes, like read them all right back to back. I wanted to keep reading them. But once I got back into it, it stuck me back in. It took a little bit more to get me interested, but it got me interested. Let's talk about the ending. Now I'm going to do it unspoilery, and then I'm going to go spoilery. So I'll tell you when, if you want to skip. So basically I'm just going to tell you now, unspoilerized, there is a big plot twist at the end of the book that you really won't see coming. And some people find it really rather disturbing. Some people aren't really comfortable with it. Some people really don't like how the author, where they decide to go with the role. And so here right now is when I'm going to go ahead and spoilerize this for those of you who like just want to know and might not buy this and just want to know. So like here, maybe, I'm hoping I'll remember to put an annotation. If not, I'm really sorry, but I should remember to put one. Real talk. Basically how the story goes and what everyone has major problems with. Daichi raises Rin as his daughter. His daughter. He raised her, she slept in his bed, she had accidents in the bed. When she's like 5 and 6, a little girl, he is her dad for all intensive purposes. You find out that Rin, as she gets older, finds she starts to have feelings romantically for Daichi. So, at first I thought, okay, this is just her being confused, confusing the feelings. She doesn't know what love is. I want to make sure I'm still in like focus for you guys. She wants to know, so I'm like, okay, she's just confused, she doesn't know what love is. You know, what teenager does. So, but, you find out from Rin's mother that Daichi's grandfather was not Rin's father. Daichi knew this. So Rin is like, I'm scot-free. We can be lover. I can fall in love with you and it be fine. No, you can't. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of how it goes, and still at that point you're like, okay, this isn't going to end how I think it's going to end. And basically one of the things I hate most about how the series ends is Daichi's character. Daichi always considered Rin his child. Even though Rin didn't necessarily consider him her father. Daichi raised her like that, looked after her since she was a little kid. But basically Daichi's character changes a little bit in the middle of the series. He becomes, for lack of a better term, a bit of a puss. He loses all oomph. He was never a tough guy, but you really respected him, kind of deal. Basically, he tells her, you know, I don't want to talk about it. You know, I'll wait till you graduate high school for me to give you my answer. And she's like, okay, that's fine. And so she graduates high school, and he's like, okay, sure, let's get married. What? No! No, what are you doing? She was 5, you slept with her. She was your kid. You're not really related, but come on, man. So, what is you can probably kind of tell my feelings on this. I'm torn on this a little bit. I don't think it should have gone this way. I don't think that's how it should have been written. Because as far as I am concerned, Daichi, he raised Rin as his daughter. And the fact that and it's not like Daichi ever even says he feels like Rin that way at all. In this, I mean, he never says it. He's just like, okay, let's get married. And then the mindfuck keeps going. She's like, I want you to have my child, and I want us to raise it like you raised me. So that's what happens. Personally, I guess I can almost see, does it ruin the story? That's the question. For me, I guess it did. It didn't. I guess it just made it not the story I wanted it to be. And that's not how the story is necessarily supposed to go. The story is supposed to be the story it is. But for me, it's not how I would have run it. It's not how I wanted it. Especially through the whole series, how it severely toyed with the fact that Daichi and Koki's mom would end up together. And that never happens. It threw me for a loop, and I just paced, not knowing what to think about this. So, anyway, here we are back for, I just did the spoilery bit. I won't do any more spoilers here. So yeah, that's Bunny Drop. It's a difficult series to rate. It's a difficult series. I don't really think of a rating system either. But I would recommend, I mean, I'll throw it out there, you know, would I recommend reading it online a little bit first? Basically, it's really hard to do. First 4 volumes are really good. I recommend flat out buying those. They're really good. The rest of the series is up to you. Whether you watched the spoiler bit or didn't watch it, it's difficult to say, but basically you've got to be mature in one and really be able to sit down and read it and think about it and be able to accept the ending for what it is. You need to be able to accept that the ending is not going to be what you want it to be. You might be disturbed by it, but you've got to decide if that's okay for you. And so that's Bunny Drop. The characters, the art is very simple. The characters are very nice, except like Koki. I really grew to hate his character as the series went on. I'm just going to throw that out there. As a kid, he was fine, but later on in the series, he was the tool, I thought. Bit of a tool. I didn't like him at all. And Daichi's character development, I hated that as well. I liked Rin's character development, sort of. So, I guess this is a recommendation video. I would recommend basically your maturity level. If you can handle a mature series, and a series that is really, really mature subject matter, especially at the end, I would recommend this series. If you really like cutesy stuff and you just really want to check it out because you feel like it, first 4 volumes is for you. If you could, I mean, seriously, you could stop with the first 4 and be good. That's really not a problem. But that's what I'm put out there. Great series, art's simple, but it's nice. Good characters for the sum of the part. The ending is really messed up, so you've got to be mature for the ending and be able to accept what the ending has. Anyway, guys, that got long. I really hope you stayed along for this long with me. This is my first manga recommendation of a series. Please tell me what you think if you want to see more. If you want to see other videos from me, I do unboxings, visual novels, playthroughs, that kind of thing. Anyway, guys, this has been Bunny Drop. I have been Ferret, and I will see you back for my next series recommendation. Bye!